Let's talk now to the Conservative MP for Lichfield, Michael Fabricant. Michael Fabricant, good to have you with us. Who do you want to be the next leader?
Well, that's the question. I've made contact with one person so far. I'm not going to say who it is, and I'm going to be asking that person whether they're interested in standing. But at the moment, I'm going to keep my ears open and eyes open and make a decision maybe once we've heard a bit more. I mean, I heard you talk about how the procedure would work. I think we're going to have hustings as well, so questions can be asked, and then I'll make a final decision.
Now, you were one of the loyalist, if I can put it like that, Tory MPs for Boris Johnson. You were a stalwart supporter of the Prime Minister. When he came out and said he was stepping down as leader of the party, were you sad? Were you disappointed? Did you want him to stay on?
I was sad that it had come to this, but if I'm honest with you, I think by today I was relieved, because I was concerned that if he hadn't stood down, then there would have been a clash which would have been ongoing, and I think it had got to be pretty untenable. But I'm very, very sad it's got to this stage, and I'm not altogether sure that it need to have got to this stage.
Well, it got to this stage because of his character. That's what a lot of your colleagues have been saying. His character flaws as a Prime Minister, not just the Partygate saga, the Partygate scandal, but recently the whole scandal with Chris Pincher as well, and all the mixed messages that were coming out of Downing Street throughout that, so that nobody in the country at large could really trust what was being said by Downing Street or the Prime Minister. That is a pretty damning indictment, isn't it, of a Prime Minister?
Well, that's one assessment, and I certainly accept most of what you say. But, you know, the other side, which attracted me, was the boldness with which he approached problems. The way we got Brexit done. Remember, we had prorogation at one stage, then we had a general election, the way we actually did achieve it, the way we went ahead and got ourselves a COVID vaccine program that was months ahead of anything that Europe produced, despite all the experts, including, of course, Keir Starmer, saying, oh, you've got to go with the European program. How can Britain go it alone? And we did go it alone, in that we were alone for 4 months before any other country actually got round to having the same vaccine program that we did.
Well, sure, those...
And also, let me just finish,
and
also getting in...
Okay.
Let me, just a second, just to say, and also being the first country to get in there with Ukraine months before, supplying them with arms months before the invasion actually took place.
OK, so you're trotting out the government's achievements as you see them, as the Prime Minister has seen them.
Well, don't you see them that way, Ben?
Well, I'm here to ask you the questions. You're not here to ask me the questions, and you know that very well, Michael Fabricant. But it's a question, isn't it, of integrity and honesty, and that is where Boris Johnson's premiership has fallen down.
Well, that's the perception of it anyway, and there's been a long narrative about Boris and honesty and all the rest of it. I like him because at the end of the day, I think he got the big decisions right for this country. One thing he is not, and that is a details man. But do we want a details man to be a Prime Minister? I'm not sure we do. I think we need to get someone who, yeah, has maybe a stronger team around him to make sure that he gets the details correct, but has the boldness of ideas so that Britain can go in a direction that I would like to see.
And just in terms, Michael Fabricant, of the next few weeks, well, the summer really, because Boris Johnson is kind of indicating he's going to stay in number 10 as Prime Minister through the summer, maybe till September, maybe until the Tory party conference in October. Can that really be right?
Well, what he's actually said is he will stay there. Well, this is what he would like to do, is stay there until a new Prime Minister is appointed. Now, it's quite interesting, isn't it, that John Major has come up with a proposal to say, well, maybe the rules should be changed and it should be the MPs who choose the successor to John Major and not involve, because that's the thing that takes the time, I mean, I'm not sure I would go with this simply because it's not very democratic, but not involve the membership of the Conservative Party as a whole, because that's what causes a delay. And it's worth actually analysing the time schedule. We've got, after this week, just 2 weeks before the House of Commons goes into recess. Then we're into the end of July and then August, when a lot of our association, our party members will be away on holiday. And the plan, I would have thought, would be certainly to try and get a PM in place, certainly in September, because then we go into recess again for the conference. And of course, the party conference at the beginning of October, the Conservative Party conference, will be in Birmingham. And we certainly don't want to be in a situation by then where we don't have a prime minister and a cabinet to go with it. So we do need to do it quickly.
Michael Fabricant, very grateful to you for your time as